What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Collectors Mingle. We got an amazing panel here to talk about some fun stuff. We're going to talk about vehicles, 1/6 vehicles, collecting them, why we should, why we shouldn't, how we approach collecting them, 2-packs, following trends in just 2-packs and really collecting in general. How does that affect our collecting habits? We're going to talk about even budgeting near the end of the show. It's going to be fun. We're also going to talk about some statue preferences and, what would get 1/6 collectors into buying statues. So really cool topics, not many releases. So we're going to talk about some more philosophical stuff tonight. Going to be fun, great panel, lots more right around the corner. Bro, you're playing the bass line. So intro. Come on now.
I always do it, bro.
Live bass line.
This is fun.
Guys, welcome in. We got an amazing panel here tonight, as always. But like I said, this is like, we always say Avengers level panel. This is truly an Avengers level panel here. I mean, come on now. Let's introduce these guys before we address the chat. Mike, Collectors Enabled. How you doing, bro? You got an amazing display behind it. I've been seeing you selling some stuff, though. So I got to know what's going on.
Yeah. Hey, Will, thanks for having me again. And hey, to an amazing panel. Yeah, I'm just kind of like making a little bit of room and trying to get some money for some things coming in. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit, but just kind of refocusing on Star Wars 1/6 a little bit and kind of clearing out a little bit of Marvel and miscellaneous.
See, that'll be this into one of our topics tonight.
Yeah.
So.
That's dope.
Yeah, but seriously, Mike, you got an amazing display, man. Seriously, and I got to get up with you about the shelves because I'm thinking about putting some shelves in soon for like heavier statues. So I definitely need to talk to you about what shelves can hold some heavy weight like that.
Oh man, I got your back. I'm actually building a second room and it's all heavy shelving and statues. So I got you covered.
Okay, cool. We got to chat then. Lael, bro.
What's up, bro?
How you doing, bro? I know what Mike said is like music to your ears about Star Wars figures. So
all day. We're going to continue this conversation on Wednesday when he is on my show. So,
there you go.
Yeah, we'll definitely,
But how you doing, Leo? You doing well?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I mean, I'm feeling good too. So I've been kind of following that same thing as well, like selling off. I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to sell off certain figures. I actually sold Hellboy, bro.
You're selling figures now. That's new for you.
I sold Hellboy, bro, and it's because again, bro, like there's so much coming from Star Wars. We're going to get into via vehicles, whatever, because like I said, if you got that snow speeder Luke, that snow speeder from Jazz Inc. looks really good with that piece. So I was just like, I got to kind of put some things aside and kind of get rid of some figures, bro. But yeah, man, it's exciting times, man. Great discussions and a great panel and stuff like that. I mean, Kiko's pretty cool too. We got a great panel, man. So yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, excited to have you here, Leia, as always, man. And Kiko, Mr. Kiko Collects, bro. How you doing tonight, man? Happy to have you on. I know it's been a little while.
It certainly has, man.
I'm selling C-3PO right now.
Your audio was freaking out there for a second.
Hello?
No, it sounds like real distorted. Is anyone else hearing that, or is it just me?
No, I'm hearing it too.
Okay, it sounds like real distorted, Kiko, for some reason. It sounds like very robotic. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
He's gonna come
Kiko
back.
come back. Brother Cousins, bro. Daddy Cousins, as they call you.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Man? Oh, my God. It's been a kind of a tough weekend. Oh, my. I think I didn't know if I had COVID or something like that, but I was not feeling well last night at all. And then this morning, I just miraculously started feeling better. So I think I ate something that was just like, I'm doing much better now. I'm still kind of like on water and ginger ale and crackers. That heals everything, ladies and gentlemen.
I think your girl put something in your food after what you were talking about on Friday when you were talking about Katie Sackhoff and stuff.
So it could have been.
Yeah, bro. Now that you think about it,
that's a good theory. That's a very valid theory,
babe.
She's listening. But Brother Cousins, for sure, for COVID, man, I can just tell you, someone who's had it recently, like the first day or two, you'll probably know something's wrong. You'll be like, something is definitely wrong here. But as you go further into it, you'll like, there's one period actually it happened with me and my mom and my girlfriend, all of us. You start to feel better for like half a day, and then you go down again. So it's really weird. So hopefully that doesn't happen with you, and hopefully you don't have COVID. But
why did you have to say that to him, bro? Why did you say that to him, bro?
I don't dude, it might not be COVID. It could just be his his girl poisoned his food. I don't know. It could be anything.
Poisoned my food.
We'll just rock with that one.
Yeah, right. That's probably the better outcome.
I'm doing good. Waiting to talk about it. This is a wonderful panel tonight, man.
I know, man. I can't believe these guys all agreed.
And Kiko's here.
Kiko's back.
Speaking of wonderful, Pat, can we hear?
Yes, you're good.
You're
You're good, Keo. You sound great.
Okay, so speaking of wonderful panel guests, yes, I'm back, and I want my time back because I was getting ready to do my introduction there, and I'm just because here's the thing: is that I've revamped a lot of like some of my equipment and things like that, but the thing I still keep forgetting is getting another damn cord for this microphone because it's a good microphone, but this is like a dollar store microphone cable. Gotcha. I just gotta go and get it. Anyway. All that to say is I gotta get that updated, and then I had the wrong browser open, which is another thing. I'm back here with Chrome. That's the go-to when I'm doing these different types of streams. So,
Chrome's
guys, it's so good to be back with you. Thank you for holding it down for me for those 2 minutes. But yes, I was telling Will that I feel like an ass because like I was going through my like text threads like, hey, can you make it tonight? Hey, can you make it tonight? And it's like 15 times in a row. I'm like, no, I can't make it, man. I feel like I'm so terrible because I'm constantly saying no. But you know what? I am here tonight. So let's get this shit going.
No, bro. You was good. It was only like one or two times, honestly. It was like once or twice where you were just like, oh, I'm out to dinner or I'm doing something. But you were texting me during, you were like, dude, hopefully it's all good, you know. So you were keeping in touch.
It's the season, man. You know, around the spring, summer times, people get in, get out, you know, all kinds of different things. So I'm just glad that you sent that nice little invitation, that warm olive branch of friendship. So thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Of course, bro. The Olive Garden branch. Exactly. You know.
Ooh,
so guys, let's address the chat. Yeah, exactly. Let's just the chat real quick before we jump into these topics. So, Tyria in the house. The countdown starts 16 minutes and 10 seconds. Dude, 0 minutes now. If anything, minus 6 minutes. Let's see. Renz Tantino said, good evening, Will. Panel on chat. So happy to finally catch you guys live. Docinator. Renz Tantino is an amazing artist, by the way. And Leo, I don't know if you did yours, but I got my Renz artwork. My mom actually did them. I got frames and got like a little red backdrop and put them in there. So, really? I'm excited, bro. Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, bro. I haven't really got a chance to visit Michael's yet.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten a chance to do it yet, but I will. It's just going to take a minute. And besides, I don't. I have to actually replace the frame that I use for my Alex Ross print of Spider-Man because with the plastic covering, it wrinkles. Like it really wrinkles, and I hate that plastic covering. So I'm just going to get like the glass covering. So
yeah, dude. But Renz's prints are straight fire, bro. So
yeah, definitely on them. Definitely.
But Tukathri, what's up, gentlemen? Tukathri, Ebu127. Hey everyone, cool panel tonight. Absolutely, cool panel tonight. Filthy Yoda, what's up, everyone? Pain Collectibles, Jan Michael Jameer in the house. Josh McCoy, amazing panel tonight. Mike R. Mark 7 are coming soon. Ooh, there you go. Sean Bean in the house. Mr. S. Beam. Hello, all. FBJ, what's poppin', everyone? Linda, president of the Pennywise fan club. Hopefully, she'll get the in art. I guess we'll find out. Joe Augustin, what's up, peeps? We got AJ Agaruso. Hello, friends. Hope everyone's having a great day. Community Arcade. Jose Hernandez. Mike Fayella. Comics. Let's see here. Who haven't I touched on? Funky Cold Santa. Great panel. Indeed. These guys are amazing. Tabor, there are 4 lights. I don't know who he's referring to, but Tabor, happy to have you here. Blackbird Tech. DT Artman. Let's see. Mark P in the house. Let's see. Oh, Daryl Smith I saw, but it got a little bit dropped down there. Daryl Smith, CT603. Mike himself, Collectors Enabled. Brandon Salad, Black Star Panel, Stellar Panel, Blackbird Tech, sorry. Angel in the house. Let's see here. Charlie the Unicorn. Yeah, COVID or poison, a girl poison food. Hell of a choice. Exactly. Kiko missed that part. Riley Reviews. What's up, Riley? I always try to get Riley on here, layout, but he always works on Sundays. So
yeah, he does. You got to get him in. Yeah, when during the week or something like that. Know, so bro. Yeah,
he's a tough one. He's busy with the ladies too.
He's always partying, bro. He's the human party.
Yeah,
so, I spend time with him at Celebration. He's literally the human party. I wanted to spend time with the adult human party that is Kiko. But I got all of like 3 minutes to see him when he was in it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, well, Riley.
It was a busy week though, for real. It was a busy week.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was.
Jose Hernandez, dude, he knows how to speak to me. Hey, Will, I turned in my Kylo figure into a Ben Solo custom black suit and iconic blue saber. It looks pretty good with Ray. Oh, dude. See, Jose, he knows how to get to me. He knows how to get to my heart. Cool. KG Chalamet in the house. What's going on?
Yeah, KG.
Let's see here. Brother Cousins in the chat himself. Hey. Let's see here. Daedric Prime. I don't know what that means, but we're gonna go with it. Wayne B in the house. Sean Forrester, Christian Lopez, Furry Ewok. What's popping, y'all? All right, guys. Thanks so much for stopping in and engaging in the chat and all that. I want to talk about something that I probably don't have much experience with yet because I don't own any 1/6 vehicles yet. But that's gonna change. 1.6 vehicles. I know Kiko was talking about this with Carlos a lot because he was negotiating pretty extensively. I don't know how that ended up, but I guess we're going to find out tonight. But 1.6 vehicles is definitely something that I think is evolving. It's growing in popularity. And I think I've heard, if it's true, Riley told me this, that the Tumbler are starting to ship soon. So because they actually were, they released in Hong Kong a while ago, but for some reason Hot Toys never posts like final photos for vehicles. I'm not sure why, but they just don't, and they didn't for Tumblr, but it is released and it is getting here soon. I got mine from Off the Racks, luckily, so I'll be getting that hopefully in the near future. So yeah, Mike, I'm super excited. But vehicles, I want to ask you guys, how do you approach collecting them? Because they take up space, they take up funds. They're different than figures, obviously. So Mike, I want to start with you on this one. Do you have 1.6 vehicles? Like, how do you approach them, in comparison to figures? Are they different for you?
Yeah, 1.6 vehicles are very interesting. And I actually just sold one this weekend.
Really?
So I have the, and actually this is coming in. I just got the email a couple days ago. I think it charges the credit card like June 15th or something like that. But coming from Sideshow, I actually didn't know about John at the time, so I couldn't take advantage of that Off the Racks excellent deal. But either way, I'm super excited about this one. And I have the Jazz Inc. The Justice Mobile with the add-ons. And I love it. Actually, it was one of the favorite things in my collection. And I had the Batfleck with it just kind of displayed really nicely. But because this is coming in and because of some other things I may have jumped on recently, I needed to make some space really fast and make some cash really fast. And so I was actually able to sell it within like an hour. So they are very popular. But that being said, what I've learned about owning the Justice Mobile, at least, is that they're long and they're short, and you need to really figure out your display, especially if you're going to have multiple ones. So mine actually sat right below my TV that was wall mounted, but above the my Maji cases, and it fits perfectly if you have that just a little bit of space. But I also have a bunch of others coming in, like the DeLorean, the Ecto one, and then a couple other, the Jazz Inc. one. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to approach that. But what I would say is approach with caution, because you can get yourself in trouble space-wise and maybe money-wise pretty quickly, especially if you're jumping on a lot of the Jazz Inc. ones, which are 2 to 3 times the cost of the Hot Toys. But I love it. Again, the only reason I sold it was because Tumblr and because few other things coming in very soon.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's just a different ball game just because of the space involved. Yeah, because like you said, they are long, but they're not as tall. It's not like having like a statue or something where it's taking up a lot of real estate height and width wise. But yeah, these vehicles are. But you're right, Mike. I do see popularity surrounding them. Like I do see people getting excited about them. Even the Bat Pod, for that matter. Bat Pod, Tumblr. The DeLorean, the Ecto One. Like there's vehicles and there's money to be made there for these companies. But Lael, do you have any vehicles? Do you like collecting vehicles? Is something you think you're going to do in the future?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I just got the Ray speeder in from Jazz Inc. Nice. And it was crazy because I got that in. It arrived the day before I got back from LA. And when I got it, opened it and everything, it looks great, but I didn't have the pedals with it. So I had to contact Jazz Inc. And also I thought that I got the deluxe version, but I didn't. Contacted him and let him know. I was like, look, I don't care how much it costs. I'll pay for the deluxe version. If you just send me the accessories, everything else is fine. He said, no, don't sweat it. He sent me the pedals and the deluxe pieces, so shout out to Jazz Inc. For that. But yeah, definitely getting into it, man, because I wanted Ray Speeder. I'm probably one of the only 2 people on the planet that likes her character.
Both of you in this panel.
Exactly, pretty much. Yeah, and I just love the aesthetics of it. When I was at Downtown Disney, if you've actually approached Downtown Disney, when you actually go in and they have like they actually have her speeder sitting outside of the shop. There it is. Looks pretty good. So I was like, yeah, it was a no-brainer. But yeah, that one, I have the Tumblr coming. And I got that through Underground. Shout out to Ray. So if Sideshow is shipping theirs now, that means like maybe a month or so later or 2 months, I'll get mine from Ray. So anticipating that. But yeah, and also, like I said, I'm really having that Snow Speeder Luke. You know, I've been looking and hovering around that Jazz Inc. Speeder, because I'm like, it's just a no-brainer to have that, especially if you can just kind of create a diorama behind it. It'd be good for photos, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I think but you have to be selective, because and you know, I was thinking about getting, here's the thing is, like, I know everybody was thinking about getting that Batman figure, the Batman figure itself.
Yeah.
I was at first too, but I've kind of pleasantly declined from it, because the thing is, like, where I'm at right now, where Star Wars is kind of, you know, entered that realm for me, and it's always been there. I can't, if I do get the Batman, it's going to be the Batman with the Bat Cycle. I'm not getting that, you know, the Batmobile. It's just, you know, not something I need. And like I said, spacing can be an issue. But also I think that you have to gravitate to what suits you, what IP suits you. Star Wars is my wheelhouse, where I'm at. I'm not just going to collect pieces just because, you know what I mean? So, you know, when I look at that Batmobile, it's not necessarily something that I need. And also just like the back and forth between Hot Toys and Jazz Inc. and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to be caught in the middle of that. I just, you know, whatever. You haven't really given me a Selena Kyle Catwoman yet, Zoe Kravitz. So yeah, I'm kind of off that IP until they do that. But yeah, it's just not something that I want to, you know, dive into. But Star Wars all the way. But I had to get that Tumblr. I had to get that, you know. I got the DX19 coming, and also the Batman Begins version. I got that actually coming. So yeah, it was a no-brainer, man, to kind of do that. But yeah, I think you know, with vehicles you have to be really, really selective, because the thing is, it's like I'm seeing this Tumblr just simply by pictures, and even if I see someone with it, I don't have it in person. I can only imagine how big it really, really is. You know what I mean? And I know it's going to take up a lot of space. So with that being said, I have to be really selective about vehicles and stuff like that. But hey, I mean, Kiko, you were there, Star Wars Celebration. We saw the vehicles that they actually had for, you know, the troopers themselves. We saw that ATRT that was there. I'm like, yo, that was a beast. So, I mean, again, stick to the IP that suits you most. You know, for me, it's going to always be Star Wars. It's going to kind of overrule everything else. So that's, you know, pretty much where I'm at right now. You know, it's just something else kind of just reaches out. But right now, it's just where I'm staying right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what about you, brother Cousins, with these vehicles, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, DC? Dude, I know you have the DeLorean already. So you think you're going to expand your vehicle collection? Do you think long and hard about maybe these vehicle purchases, about the space and the money involved? Like, how do you approach collecting them?
You gotta be, I think Leo and Mike said it, you have to really be careful. And me especially, I'm speaking at even to myself, because I have the DeLorean back here. Love it. That was my first Hot Toys vehicle ever. Vehicles I love because they just bring up your display. I mean, you have a bunch of 1/6 figures, and if you have a lot of them over a period of time, and I think you all can agree with me, they kind of get lost after a while, you know, because you just see a whole bunch of figures together, especially when you have a big collection. They kind of get lost. They kind of, you know, because you're seeing so many at one time. When you have those vehicles, it just creates a diorama and it just makes an experience. Like, you know, the DeLorean, that was, like I said, that was my first vehicle. And it took a lot of planning to get that right. And when I first had it displayed, I think I used like a fish tank and stuff like that. And it was probably 2019, and that worked pretty good, but it didn't allow me as much space as I needed to display the figures. So it was only room for like one way to display them. So since then, I custom make that display up there. I actually custom make it from Home Depot parts and stuff like that. And I'm going to be doing a video because I know people wants to ask, people in the chat always ask, how did you do that? So, but that is coming, how I did that. But that was my first vehicle. My second big vehicle was the 89 Batmobile. Love that. And now I think that's my second. And then my third big vehicle right now is the Jazz Inc. Millennium Falcon cockpit, which is, I love it. It's just fabulous. Once you put those figures in it, it just takes everything to a whole nother level. I am thinking of getting, not thinking, I've already put money on it, the Ecto 1. That's one of the reasons why I got the Ghostbusters. So that's coming. So, and then also I'm looking at getting the 1966 Batmobile from Jazz Inc. as well.
Ooh.
So my whole thing is trying to recapture the 80s. And then I'm hearing rumblings that Jazz Inc. is going to be making a kit from Knight Rider. So that's even
wow.
So I have a whole nother room. This is one room that I have my stuff in, but I call it the other part of my basement, which is kind of like the lobby area. I'm thinking that that's going to be pretty much not Maji cases, but I'm gonna make my own shelves, and on those shelves are gonna go up to the ceiling, down to the floor. That's where all the vehicles are gonna be. Because I'm also thinking of getting another DeLorean. I'm converting this one back to the original DeLorean and keep having Dark and Marty from that, and then having a Back to the Future DeLorean and having those figures with that. So it's going to be a lot of vehicles in my display. But what I will say, I have a plan for all this. Like what I do is I actually draw everything out in Photoshop, take pictures of it, size it down, draw it out almost like a blueprint. Like even my wife was like, well, how are you going to do this? And then I showed her, like, she was like, oh, wow, that's how I was like, this is the plan. This is the whole collection, like 4.0, how I'm going to have everything set out. And it is very important to do that. I do. I remember, I'm not sure exactly who it was, but I remember maybe a couple years ago, I heard of a collector. It was some collector. I can't remember its name. But he pretty much sold off like a great deal of his collection, like all his Marvel stuff and everything, to get the Ecto 1. He got the Ecto 1, had the Ghostbusters figure, put it into his house, and realized it would not fit any of his displays, and he ended up having to sell it and buy back all his figures all over again. That, you know, I mean, sometimes I know people try to measure it and all that stuff. It is hard, but you have to definitely have a plan for how you're going to get all this stuff. Because even with me, it's like, I'm like, I say I want to get the 1966 Batmobile, but I may have to push that to the side because, like Leo was saying, man, that Snowspeeder's looking, man. I see a coffee table in my future. I'm putting that there. So you know.
And see, I have both of the I have the speeder bikes from Mandalorian. I have both. I have two of them on top of the DTOF because you can't really fit them anywhere else. But I mean, it just makes sense aesthetically where I have them. But yeah, bro. I mean, you when you're going the vehicle route, they look good, but when you don't have that much space, it's not that tasteful, bro.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying with the tumbler, bro.
Even and I'll just say this, sorry to interrupt, but if you look at my very first video, you can go and watch it now. My very first video, I had the DeLorean, and I lived in an apartment at that. I was in my apartment. I had a little small cramped room, and it looked good, but I had it like on top of my TV, and I mean it was nice, but I barely had room to display it. So those are the things you got to think about when you're getting into vehicles, because it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
Look at that, brother Cousins, old school, bro.
There you go.
All the way back, bro. All the way back to the beginning. I looked up your sorted your videos by oldest, and there's a DeLorean right under the TV.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. 2019. That's crazy.
I'll look at the boxes in the corner. Oh man, that's
Is that Happy Feet on the TV?
What'd you say?
Say it again.
Is that Happy Feet on the TV?
I think it's just options. It is a recent purchase though, so maybe you're right. Yeah, it is. Kiko's an eye for detail, bro. He has an eye for detail. But Kiko, I know vehicles is something you're interested in because of the the Ecto 1 you were looking at. So is this something you think you're going to continue? I don't know if you worked out a deal with Carlos. So you're going to get the Ecto 1, you're going to get other vehicles, are you making space for those? How do you approach it?
I think I've told you before is that when I moved out of my little collection room, that's, all the figures over there, I moved in here and built this behind me specifically for, those big vehicles. That's the whole point. They've somehow magically gotten a bunch of statues on them somehow. I don't know how that all worked out. But all that to say is that I have always said that the Ecto 1 and the DeLorean were the two pieces that I built these things for, so I could display them on that. Now, I'm going to go a little bit of a different route. Is that kind of what Lael said, is that I have the Mandalorian speeder bikes as well, and I wish I didn't have them. And I just, it is a space issue for me. And I know that you guys talked about, the horizontal is fine, but the vertical is fine. It's the horizontal that you take up. But I've gotten to my aesthetic and the way I like it and things like that. And outside of me being able to build something custom, kind of, what Brother Cousins is saying, I don't have that talent. I don't have that ability. And I it's a miracle these pictures are hung on the wall behind me. I can barely do that. That is one skill I just do not possess. And so it's not going to be something that I can do. It would have to be something that I buy. I just don't have that skill set. So all that to say is that those are the only two that I'm looking to add. We were unfortunately not able to get the situation with Carl. I don't know if that offer still stands, but I'd said if I behaved at Celebration, then we'd talk about possibly, getting the Ecto 1 afterwards. I did not behave at Celebration like I feel like everybody else didn't behave either. And so I'm still interested in that, but the DeLorean, is still on pre-order and such. But those are the two I'm going to get. Even the Tumbler. It's just when it comes down to it, I think the two, DeLorean and Ecto 1, are too iconic to not have. The Tumbler, in my opinion, I love it, and you know how I feel about the Dark Knight saga and all that stuff, right. But it's not something I have to have. Granted, when it shows up at Replay Toys, I may end up getting it, and I'll eat my words. That's what I usually do. So we'll see how that goes, but I just don't have the space for it. If you guys want to help me start a home project and help me build this stuff, come on down. But it's not going to be something I can be able to pull off myself. So. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, totally understandable. Your vehicles, you got to be selective, I'd say.
And that's my other thing is I know what Leal said is that, they look super cool at Celebration, but I don't want them. Is that I don't care how cool they look or whatever, but it's just not going to fit. Do I want to have 3 figures in the spot that, one, footprint, that's the word I'm looking for, that the footprint of one vehicle would take up? I'd rather have the 3 figures, but once again, it's your decision, it's your display, what you feel comfortable with. But for me, I'm like, the only 2 footprints I'm going to be able to fill are the Ecto 1 and the DeLorean. That's where I'm going to have to cut it off for myself.
And that makes the most sense, because it's like I think Leo was saying that you got to get something that speaks to your heart, because that's it's the same. It's kind of the same principle of is getting a statue. Any of these big pieces, it has to be something that, like, what is your top? If Star Wars is your top thing, get it. If Terminator is your top thing, get that. Get that, or Ecto 1 or Back to the Future. But don't try to have all.
Yeah, and we're even talking about Jazz Inc. I got Iron Scavenger, the big vulture, and I almost wish I didn't have that because the footprint is so huge. It sits on top of my DTOFs or whatever, but I mean that's what 3.5 feet. I think that takes up. That's a lot of room, man. And I'm like, I got to be real selective just because I'm not building another house here anytime soon, so I really can't just customize these rooms by any means. So, but like I said, the offer stands to my lovely friends on this panel. If you guys want to take a field trip to Nashville and help me build stuff, then we'll talk about it again.
Hey, we'll talk about it.
There we go. Yeah, but it's definitely an interesting topic, guys. Yeah, because I'm jumping into my first vehicle. Probably, I guess it would be, I think it's my first. I have the Cloud Game Toys with the bike coming tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. I've heard that's a pretty big bike. And then I have the Tumbler. So I have the Tumbler coming eventually. I haven't heard from John yet, but I'm sure it'll be shipping sometime over the next month or so. So really excited for the Tumbler. I got space dedicated for it already and on a shelf. So I'm gonna have to talk to Mike about my shelving. So, because he's the shelving master. So we got to talk about that. But yeah, guys, great thoughts on that one. I want to ask you something though. And for the people who watch Friday, bear with me here, because I really like this topic when I talked to Cam on Friday. Cam's collection, not the Yu-Gi-Oh Cam, no apostrophe. So Cam's collection, love him. But I asked him a really cool question that I want to ask you guys too. Your most recent purchase. I really like talking about this sometimes. Just the most recent figure or vehicle or collectible that you bought, right? Why did you buy it? I want to see if I can pull them up, share with the people, see if you can explain your mindset. So I want to start actually with Leo. Leo, bro, what did you buy recently that you're really excited about?
Now recently, we're not talking about things that I bought, years ago, months ago.
No, just the most recent. Yeah,
most recent that I actually purchased.
Statue figure. Anything?
Well, no, because like I said, they were figures that we purchased, but they started shipping, so we're getting them in now. But if you're talking about what I recently purchased, 2 things. One, I would say, because I was looking for this for the longest time, and to finally have it in hand, it's the Luke Skywalker. I got this actually at Disney. This is Luke's saber. I got it. I actually have the blade blade as well.
Oh,
I just haven't, put it on, whatever. But yeah. So yeah, it's Luke Skywalker saber from Return of the Jedi. I've always wanted this piece. It's so iconic. To have it in, and the thing is, I stood at that when I was there. I was looking diligently at everything. I was like, what's one? But then Luke, I was like, because the main thing I wanted to do was get Luke and Vader, but they didn't have Vader there in Disney. But it just so happens that later on, I saw Vader at Disney downtown Disney. But yeah, this was probably the most recent that I purchased. Very happy that I did because I've been looking for this for the longest time. And we're at Disney and I saw it, so I was like, why not get it? And it's really weighted. I love it. I love the feel of it. I love the look of it. Just the packaging and everything. It's probably a few more that I'll get once I get there. But yeah, that's the thing. And I think, again, it wasn't a careless purchase for me because it was something that I wanted. That was ideally what I was going to do. Now, the careless purchase, and he's not on the panel today, was when Sean made me buy a pair of $60 socks. There were three. They were in a pack, so I got them. It was nicely, they were in there. They were nicely packaged and everything. It comes with like a collector's box, so I got that. But then
my buddy Dave bought those too.
You got those? Yeah. So I got them.
The
but
Kenobi
then actually,
socks?
Yeah, it was Kenobi. It was somebody else in there. It was a couple of them. There's different pairs in, but then I went back and I got Vader and I got Ahsoka. So you might as well say I spent like $100 on socks. That's what it was. But yeah, that was, I would say that was it. But again, I mean, they made sense. Oh, wait a minute. Also at Disney, I got a couple of different things. So I basically got this print.
Nice.
Dude.
Yeah, I got this actually. It's like a Ralph McQuarrie throwback. Definitely I wanted to get that, so I'm glad I have that. And I got a General Soul, of course, poster from Rogue One. So yeah, there were a couple of things that I purchased, but they were kind of within the wheelhouse. But it made sense for me because it was things that I wanted, and that was ideally what I was looking for once I went down there. But as far as figure, nothing as of yet, even though because it's cheap, I kind of got my eye on that Taskmaster figure.
See, me too, bro. I'm waiting for it to go even lower, though.
I know it looks pretty, but I got actually a gift card and points that I can actually use to get it. So that's why I'm like, I might pull that trigger. Like I'm really, really looking at it. I'm just waiting to see, but yeah, because it looks pretty good and the price looks pretty good, and I'm like, I might just do it. So that's the only thing that I'm thinking about getting right now. Everything else I'm just getting in, like all the figures that I'm actually getting in, the waves, and I'm hearing like a little Tweety Bird says that we might get Bo-Katan this week, so we'll see.
Really?
I don't know. We'll see how that actually happens. Well, yeah, that's my purchases, bro. That's it,
dude. Those are some really badass ones, dude. I love it. And that lightsaber, man. Getting into the prop game is it's a rabbit hole of its own. So
but see, it has its limits because the only two that I want right now is this one, and once I get Vader, I'm done for right now.
Yeah,
those are the only two that I want. So
yeah. It's good to set limits like that. But Mike, bro, I gotta share my screen with your pictures you sent me because you sent me some really cool stuff, and I'm not sure if they're all different things or not, but I'm going to share them real quick. Let's see if I can pull this up. Here we go. Mike sent me this. So, nice. Mike, explain, bro. What is this? Because, I've watched a little bit of anime. I've dabbled Attack on Titan. I'm into it. So, what is this, Mike? You got to explain to us.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I had to sell some stuff this weekend pretty quickly. So this is a life-size Ultra Instinct Goku by a company called Life Size 1-to-1.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think it's about 6 feet tall, a little bit taller than 6 feet with the base. But the cool thing about this is it actually comes with a second bust. And for anyone who follows Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super, so you actually get the full life size, plus you get a second bust, plus you get a second head. So the price actually was amazing, considering life size and what you get. Most companies you could probably get just the bust from what I paid for this. So I'm really impressed. And that includes shipping. So really fantastic. But This is Goku from Dragon Ball Super and his Ultra Instinct, and then mastered Ultra Instinct form. And then on the bottom, you have kind of like the aura or the energy that lights up. And there was one left from this company, and my buddy Ryan bought the second to last one. And he's like, "Oh, you got to buy this." And it doesn't take much to enable me. I'm the easiest one here to buy something. And I looked at the price and I was like, you know what? That's not bad at all. I could probably just sell a few things and it's paid for. And that's what I did. And this is coming in about 2 to 4 weeks or so. I think it ships next week from Europe, and comes in 4 giant boxes. So my wife's going to love that. But anywho, this thing, I'm super excited about this. There's a bunch of reviews up on YouTube. You can check them out. But Infinity Studio Goku Ultra Instinct.
Dude, oh, it's Infinity. They made this. Oh, okay.
It's like a collaboration. So yeah, with the Infinity and someone else.
Dude, this is really cool though. This has a lot of presence, especially with that light up at the bottom of the base.
So I kind of made a deal with my wife where
that's what I was gonna ask.
Well, not for the yeah.
How did you get this approved?
So I have a bunch of one-to-one stuff, but up until now it's been Star Wars, and I had to stop buying one-to-one because, I mean, if you think vehicles are bad, one-to-one is the worst.
Yeah.
But my room kind of is a suite, so there's a bathroom and it connects with like another kind of smaller bedroom, and in here in my room, it's also, there's a TV, we hang out, it's kind of like a family playroom. So I wanted a room just dedicated to like streaming, unboxing, and just kind of hanging out with you guys. And so I got permission rather to take the adjacent room that's connected to my room, and I'm setting it up just for like streaming and stuff. But because I have that extra space, and I'll have room for 2 to 3 more life-size things, and I had to jump on this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get it because there's just no more room. So,
yeah,
I'm pretty excited about that.
Dude, that's a badass purchase right there. So congrats on that, man. Congrats to Layout too for those lightsabers. Seriously, you guys are raising the bar here. I got to go to Kiko on this one. I want to hear Kiko, and then I want to hear Daddy Cousins. But Kiko, bro, what was the last purchase for you? What are you excited about that you already have or that you're about to get soon?
Well, for one, I gotta say is that I thought my 1/3 scale Venom was huge or whatever. That a 1/1 Goku is pretty damn impressive. I mean, that is a monster footprint. We're talking about that for right now. So my most recent purchase is, people might roll their eyes at this one, but it's something I've been chasing for a while that I needed to find the right deal on. It is a figure that is sometimes frowned on because the movie is frowned on. No, I'm not talking Rise of Skywalker. Don't worry. I'm talking about Age of Ultron. I'd been needing the Mark I Ultron. The one that's like the die cast broken figure, because I got like the little bust that it comes with, the Mark 43, I think, but I needed the actual figure, and I'd been chasing the actual Mark I for a while, just because I know he's not highly desirable, but if you can find, there he is. If you can find the right deal on it, I mean, he's a really cool, imposing presence, especially with that light up feature. So I have that coming to me tomorrow. I'm excited about that. The UPS man will drop that off tomorrow. But my most other recent purchase is, I put a little hint on my story, I suppose, maybe a week ago. I went to Replay Toys, of course. I'm not sponsored by them by any means, but I spend a lot of time and money there. So I picked up 2 things from Replay Toys. Both were statues, so I added a couple of new statues. One was that new Ahsoka Tano statue. That's the one that comes with the little bird. The Morai.
Is it the premium format one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the premium format one. So she's a little bit bigger than the one. Yeah, there it is right there. Far left. Yeah, right there. So she's gorgeous. Love that like look. She just really pops on. She's right. I don't know. She's right there. If you can see her, all blurry or whatever. But she's right there. But then in addition to that, I've never had any other. I'm kind of new to the statues or whatever, but I've never had a numbered piece this low, and I put a little hint of it on my story when I first picked it up. But it is the Mythos Darth Sidious, and it's labeled 10 out of 2000. Number 10.
Wow.
And so I was really there it is right there. So it's number 10 out of 2000, and he's incredible. He looks fantastic. And he's sitting right next to Maul, because I have that one too. But yeah, I was able to pick those up because I saw him in replay. The guy actually said, "Hey man, I got a Sidious here, number 10. You interested?" I'm like, yeah, I think I probably can be, just because I've never seen an edition one that low, and so I was happy to grab that one. So that was the you said explain. So I don't know if any of us are really explaining really well why we get some of the things we get.
No, you guys all are.
But yeah, I wanted it because of the exclusivity behind it, and just it was time to add another statue. So no real great reason, but that's it.
Yeah. Hey, dude, you're getting into the statue game, so I'm really proud.
Yeah, I know that's coming up that we're talking about here in a few minutes.
Yeah, we sure are. So it's a don't tease it too much, Kiko, because we don't want to get people too excited. But dude, that's exciting for all you guys, seriously. But brother cousins, bro, I gotta know, man, what you been buying lately? What you been up to?
I've been bad.
Is the wife watching? Don't say too much.
Well, she knows about.
Oh, okay, she does.
But yeah, she kind of approved them. Kind of did, kind of not. Because when we kind of saw it together, and she was like, "Go for it, go do it, because you're not gonna find them for any cheaper." So I do Good Morning Grails. We know that Good Morning Grails, whatever. And these two are going to be featured on Good Morning Grails. One's going to be next week. The other's going to be the week after that. I'm talking about the Stormtrooper in disguise, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Grails.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I found those on eBay. It was weird because I was tracking at one point. I saw Han Solo being sold for like $1,000, and I was like, totally out of my reach. I can't justify. Now I definitely can't justify that. Can't do it. Found him and Luke together, mint condition, in their shippers. Well, Han has his shipper. Luke has he has a shipper. He has Finn's shipper, which was funny because I was like, I gave you the wrong figure. What the hell? But yeah. but pretty much they're complete and in immaculate condition. The seller, looked like he didn't even take them out the box. Honestly,
really.
Together, I got them shipped for about $920.
That's pretty good for two figures, though.
Yeah. So yeah, got those coming, and I'm really, really happy. They came Friday. I looked at them, made sure it wasn't a brick in a box or anything like that. But we got the Grails coming up on Tuesday, so I'll be unboxing them, and I'm very excited about it because that Han Solo, just taking a sneak peek of it, I was like, wow, how did this one slide by me after in 2017? Like, wow, I was deep into Marvel, but that right there, excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, those are some seriously great grabs. You guys are seriously flexing on us tonight. So that is a lot of great stuff there. So I appreciate you guys sharing that. Really cool pickups. Really happy for all you guys. I want to ask you something else, though. So trends. I think trends are something that we all kind of notice. And one of the things I think I've noticed over the past, ever since really Mando's come out, right? Star Wars is very hot. Everyone's on the Star Wars train. They're pumping out, everyone's really excited about the characters they're making and the figures they're making. So trends are I think something that we all follow and something that we all feel maybe at least the subtle pressure of sometimes. Because all of us here love Star Wars. We all have a lot of Star Wars figures. But I think Marvel is suffering a little bit right now because it's not as trendy as Star Wars, So I think a lot of the Marvel figures are either sitting or maybe being overproduced, or everyone's on the Star Wars hype train right now. But that'll change eventually because a couple years ago before Mando, it was the opposite, right? It was Marvel and then it was Star Wars. And everyone was hopping off Star Wars and onto Marvel. So it's funny how I think we notice these things with the trends and how they influence what we add to our collection. So I think we all, like I said, we notice what happens in the community. We follow what goes on. We follow what everyone else is doing. We follow also what's hot. Mando has made Star Wars hot. So we can't, pinpoint it to anything else really, because some of the other shows have been very divisive. As much as I love the sequels, very divisive. Obi-Wan's been pretty divisive so far. Book of Boba, very divisive. So Mando is the one that brought everyone together and said, Star Wars fans, here you go. Everyone loves something. But trends, I think, I want to talk about this just because, like I said, it's a really interesting topic. And I want to bring up the figure that I was just referencing because Leo and I know we talked a lot about this. This Crow Mandalorian, like I said, Mando is all the hotness, even when he's not, having a show live right now. But I want to ask you guys, I'm going to start actually with Mike on this one. So Mike, how much do you think the trends influence what you do as a collector? Because, also, we don't always think about, what shows up on our Facebook feed, right? Like a lot of things, Marvel stuff gets shared around a pretty decent amount, but Star Wars is being talked about a lot. And, you know, not just on these streams, but on Facebook or wherever else, Reddit, wherever else we're looking for figures, right? Mm-hmm. So what we see is also what we end up buying because that's what we're looking at. So how, Mike, do you think trends influence what you collect?
I think it's no surprise that trends play a huge role in kind of what I collect. But that being said, I was always a Star Wars collector first. And it's still my number one love, even though, you know, collectors enabled to collect everything, you know, and we do. And part of the collecting everything portion of that is really influenced by trends, and not just trends, but trends that trigger emotions and, you know, like feelings of joy from the past or nostalgia. So if something that, let's say, you know, the new Krang from PCS, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that just dropped on Sideshow. You know, I love Krang. I love Turtles as a kid, and I haven't picked it up yet, but it's all over kind of popping up on Facebook. And if you're just scrolling through, you know, every time you see it, it's like just one more little seed that's planted. And I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, they're masters of marketing, and you know, hanging out with you guys and watching streams like, you know, Will stream, Lael stream, and everybody else, it doesn't help. So if you don't want to be, or if I don't want to be affected by trends, I just need to stay away from YouTube and Facebook for a little while. But you know, good luck with that. But that being said, you know, kind of what I mentioned before earlier was that I was starting to sell some Marvel stuff, as you mentioned. And it's not that I don't like it, and it's not that I don't think Marvel's super trendy right now. Maybe not as much as it was in the past, but it's just that I want to just take my collection a slightly different direction, and, you know, kind of go more towards one dedicated quarter scale statue for the Marvel character instead of maybe multiple 1/6. So, you know, I think that kind of a cool thing about following trends potentially is that you may end up with something that you would have never purchased, and it may be the coolest thing that you ended up with. And you know, I challenge you guys to think, like, is there something in your collection that you bought kind of on a whim that you're like, and then you get it and you're like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Yeah, something that you maybe wouldn't have considered if not for the popularity and hype surrounding that figure and the release of that figure. It's definitely a thing, Mike. That's a really good point. I want to jump to Brother Cousins again on this one. So, Brother Cousins, do you think the trends sort of influence, whether consciously or subconsciously, maybe what you're collecting?
I mean, it depends. If we're talking about something like, I mean, right now, I think over the last couple of years, we've seen the trend go back and forth to what is essentially a Disney properties, Star Wars and Marvel, which I love. I'm in love with both of them. So, I mean, definitely, I would say in the earlier years, when the MCU was really kicking off, that really got me into, you know, the trend was the MCU. MCU was everything. And I went looking, and I really wanted collections. I really wanted collectibles that were, you know, that were great, that could really pull in the detail that I demanded from those characters. So that pretty much aided me to collect all the Marvel stuff like that, because that was the trend at the time. Now you're seeing that with Star Wars. So yes, absolutely. But I will say that is kind of I see it kind of as a slippery slope, because that can lead people into collecting stuff, you know, kind of like, not saying the flavor of the month, but kind of collecting stuff in that thought process where it's the flavor of the month, where it's hot. That may be hot today. It may not be that hot, you know, a couple of years from now, and then they may sell stuff on. I think you're seeing that with not saying that, you know, from anybody here on this panel or, you know, anybody in general, but I mean, even certain things with me, you may see a movie that's just was great and blew your socks off. That definitely happened with Transformers. Like I was like, when the first Transformers was out, I was like, oh my God, it's great. And of course that was, you know, before the MCU. I started buying Transformers stuff and was all into it and buying it. And then the MCU comes out, which was way more close to my heart than Transformers. And I started selling off my Transformers to buy MCU stuff. So that's, you know, they were cool to have at the time, but I completely grew out of it. So I just say, you know, it could be a slippery slope at time. You can end up, you know, buying and selling a lot of stuff. And I know there's some collectors that do that buy, they'll go with whatever the trend is. They'll buy stuff, sell it, and then the new stuff comes out and they'll buy that, and then they'll sell that and buy it. And that's cool. But I'm at a point with my collection where I want to capture like my recapture my childhood stuff that's real close to my heart that I'll have a hard time parting with. And also is, another thing that helps with me, buying, as we talked about in previous conversation with buying vehicles, I feel that vehicles for me kind of lock me into a collection, because then it's all together. And I'm like, you know what? This is fine. I got everything that goes with this. So I'm not going to sell off pieces just to, buy other stuff. It kind of in a way disciplines me on selling stuff, because if I'm going to buy a vehicle that goes with this piece, that means something I have to really be attached to. So yeah, it could be a slippery slope.
Yeah, it totally can be. And, it's for sure a very interesting concept, I think. But it's true. Hot Toys Hotline dropped a really good comment I wanted to address. A perfect example, look how many people purchased the Hot Toys Pennywise, who said, I don't watch horror films, but even many content creators. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there were a lot of people who got the Pennywise just because, others were talking about it, and, other people were talking about it on the groups and stuff. And it was a very trendy release at the time just because it was unique. And, there's also a little bit of FOMO going on for people in the sense that, oh, this figure is never going to be made again. I know I was saying that, which is true, I think, except InArt is now making one, but going to be a little bit different. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about. But Lael, bro, how do you handle this? Because I know you said recently you're considering selling some of your Marvel stuff and you're focusing more on Star Wars, but I know that more so comes from your love for Star Wars.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like somebody said it, perfectly in the chat. Star Wars is a lifestyle. Everything else is a trend. That's just how it has been for me. I've been collecting Star Wars figures since the age of 5 years old, since I actually saw it for the first time in 1977. So for me, I'm always dedicated to Star Wars. That's my life. It will be probably until I'm dead and gone and buried in the grave. But yes, and I have this figure. It is an amazing figure. That's actually the next one up on the docket right over there after Jango Fett gets pretty much posed up and get that video out. But yeah, I think for me, it's, Star Wars is something that, I live for. Here's the thing, it's crazy because I'm a Marvel Comics collector. I collect comics, and I made this statement before last week, is that when I think of Marvel and I think of the figures, all I'm paying for right now is the Marvel IP, the MCU IP. I'm paying basically for the Marvel head sculpt. I mean, that for an actor's likeness, that's what I'm paying for. To me, that's why I'm like, is it really worth it for me? I mean, we've all done it before. Like, whatever's hot in Marvel, this is basically what we collect. You know what I mean? That Captain America figure was hot until it died down, where people just got tired of waiting for it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. For me, it's just like I want to stay close to something that I know I heavily relate to. You know what I mean? I'm a Marvel, comic book collector, so I know everything and all things about Marvel and DC that I need to know. But as far as the figures, I have to think about it. Do I need to really keep diving into that and collecting? I have to be very selective about that, especially with the amount of Star Wars figures that are out there right now. And that's not to take away from people who do collect Marvel, because a lot of people collect Marvel and they don't collect Star Wars figures, and that's fine. You have to gravitate to what's really, really big for you. I kind of, and that's one of the reasons why I sold that Hellboy, because as much as I love Hellboy, do I necessarily need that in my collection? No, because it's just basically a space filler right now. Like, I mean, it's not something that I'm going to go back to. Normally the figures that I love, I'm constantly going back, revisiting, reposing, stuff like that. The figures that I don't touch, that means that I don't have that much of a connection to them, and it means it's time to go. And that's where I'm at right now, because like I said, there's a lot of heat coming from Star Wars. I'm preparing for that. I'm making space for it. Again, I mean, I know a lot of people will say, well, man, you can't just, stray away from Marvel right now. Something's going to drop, you'll end up getting it. Very selective about what I actually get. And it has to be something that really speaks to me. And on top of that, it has to be cheap. So if it's cheap, then I'll basically do that. But Star Wars, I tend to go all out. I was at Celebration. One of the statues that I fell completely in love, which is one of the reasons why I didn't get the Clone Wars premium format Ahsoka. I had it on order and I canceled it. And the reason why is because I stood there at Celebration and I looked at that Rosario Dawson Mandalorian statue for almost an hour. I was staying as Toya. I couldn't take my eyes off that thing. It was incredible. And I was like, I have to have that piece. I really, really have. The likeness on that piece was incredible. I need to have it. It was something that just spoke to me. And I'm like, you know what? I think what it was, the celebration kind of reinvigorated my love, my complete, this one right here, bro. I could not take my eyes off of it. I was sitting there looking at that thing the entire time, and I was like, yo, this is amazing. This is an amazing piece. I will have this hands down. There's nothing anybody can do to talk me out of it because I need to have that piece. But yeah, I mean, when I think about it and I think about my love for Star Wars, that's, you know, where I'm at. That Strange, you know, that zombie or the Dead Strange, not necessarily something I need, to be quite honest. It's not something, just because the film's hot, it's not something I actually need in my collection. For those who actually have a love for it, I have a love for Strange, but I don't need that particular piece, especially at that price. I just don't, you know, because when I think about that, I think about what I can put towards Star Wars, you know, what figure I can actually get, what figure that, you know, even if it's a Grail piece, you know, I can think about, you know, what I can put in that actually have that piece, rather than, you know, it's something. Yeah, exactly. You need to. That piece, I saw it. Oh man, it's beautiful. It is. Once you see it up close and you really see it, bro, it's like they captured Rosario Dawson's likeness like it was a ghost, bro. Like literally. And it's a beautiful piece. And they actually have it posed up next. They had it posed up next to the Mandalorian piece. I mean, now the Boba Fett piece. And that was incredible. So yeah, I saw it. I was like, I can't pass it up. But I think, I mean, all in, if it's something that it has to be pieces that really speak to you. I kind of, you know, try to stray away from trends because it's all, it becomes, you know, just this huge debate. And then it is FOMO half the time, bro. Like I just don't want to fall for it. I just want to kind of stay within my wheelhouse, what's comfortable for me, what looks aesthetically great for me, which is one of the reasons why, you know, the General So figures that I have, like, you know, I love those. My, you know, everything that I have nostalgic. That Snowspeeder Luke was no brainer. Like if you once you get it in hand and you look at it, it's like
so good.
Fuck, are you for real? Like literally, bro. It is. It like Mike and Kiko, you have it too, right? Tell me when you basically looked at that figure that it didn't take you back to Empire, and it didn't like you didn't feel what you felt the first time that you actually saw Empire. That's what it felt like for me. And when I saw that figure, I was like, it was automatically an emotional attachment for me. And I was like, you know what? Hands down, I'm done. I'm really done. I have to, you know, again, I couldn't take my eyes off of it, bro. It's that Snowspeeder Luke is incredible. This piece right here also will be.
Oh, you're talking about Snowspeeder. My bad. Okay.
No. But you keep that up there too.
Okay. Yeah.
But there goes the Snowspeeder. But yeah, this one I will definitely have in my collection, man, because it's again, it's nostalgia. It's the best spin Luke that I have a chance to get. I wasn't able to get the Grail piece. Oh, fucking brother cousin, but I mean, still, you know what I mean. Like I'll have my chance at getting this piece. And Mike, you don't have to turn around and look at yours either, bro.
It's so good.
You know what I mean? But yes, I'll have my chance of getting this, man. But yeah, I think that's what it is, bro. Like, you know, I would say for anybody, especially if you're a new collector, don't fall for trends just because a lot of people speak about it and say, oh, this is good. You have to, it's a must-have. It's a must-have. It may be a must-have for them. It might not be a must-have for you. You have to stay within your wheelhouse, pick the things that speak to you. And not only is it something that's going to save you the stress, but it's going to save you money as well. And you'll enjoy it, you know, for like, you know, a long period of time. I always say it, like, if it's something I have to sell, then I obviously didn't love it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it as much. So that's where I'm sitting.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, bro. Always great thoughts from all you guys, seriously. But Kiko, bro, how do you, I know you talk about like trends and other stuff on your channel a pretty decent amount. You always have some really good content about this. So how do you feel this influences you, like with trends with Star Wars and everything, and Marvel even, when the Marvel's hot? How does that influence your collecting?
Well, first off, going back to this Snowspeeder Luke, if you want to see a fire pick, make sure to check out my Instagram of that Snowspeeder Luke we did.
Are you seeing it?
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for Lael to say like, "Hey, let's hype Kev over here for a minute," because I'm like, okay. but he didn't deliver on that time. But either way, that's one of the things I kind of do on my channels. I try to be real, you know, straightforward and try to just think, you know, what
Kiko, hold up. Everybody out there in Hot Toys, I have to say this now, and you pulled it up, and so I'm surprised because I didn't think you was gonna pull it. Hot Toys, you are doing yourself a effing disservice if you don't hire this man, like literally, because he brings it to life. Yes. I'm looking at Luke fucking Skywalker right now. I'm looking at Mark Hamill in reality. That's how good this looks. Lighting, everything that hits this figure right now is incredible. Hot Toys, if you're listening, you are doing yourself a disservice. Everybody who hasn't subscribed to Kiko, yo, I'm telling you, just for the pictures alone, I mean, it's brilliant. Like, it's literally.
That's what I was liking all the comments. I appreciate you, man.
It is such a brilliant piece, and this is what I'm saying. Like, looking at the figure that I have, like literally, bro, I was like, okay, this picture, fucker, actually sold me on that snow speeder Luke. I mean, on the snow speeder from Jazz Inc. Looking at this, I was like, yeah, I got to get it. That's it. No hands,
it looks like
a
poster, body, bro.
It looks like it's a human fucking being right now. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
I remember when people were trying to say like, oh, they're going to mess up this sculpt or whatever. This one looks pretty good. I know we're not talking sculpts or anything, but I took, talking about the DX07, I took the little hair sculpt, that came with this one, threw that on my my DX07 because I switched the head on that. Either way, check out the picture tomorrow. We'll show you a real cool picture of Bespin and Luke. But there's Taskmaster. Yeah, sorry about that.
That almost sells me on Taskmaster.
See, come on now, Kiko's a salesman. Come on now.
Why did you go?
Because I saw Taskmaster. It was the second one up there, bro. It was the second one. So and dude, look at that Giancarlo, bro. Come on, I'm Moff Gideon. Mine will be here tomorrow. Actually, excited about that.
So let me get me back on. So I was giving. I appreciate the commercial there. Appreciate you guys. I was trying to be a little bit silly, but I do appreciate the love. But that going back to being serious is that's one of the things I try to do on my channel is to be a little bit different. And Will, that's one of the things I love about this stream is that you will give people things to think about and talk about that you don't kind of get at other channels and such. And so I do talk about that is that don't give into hype beasts and get yourself buying things that there's no need to essentially buy simply because, so-and-so said to get it. But I know there's a little bit of a joke, in the stock trading world, buy the dips, whenever things are down. But that's kind of the way that if there's a franchise or if there's a property that you like, such as Marvel, I love Marvel and I love Star Wars. Yeah, the dip is on Marvel right now. So you can get some really good pieces because people are trying to offload them because, Endgame was the end game for me. And so I'm not interested in anything else. And so you can get some really good deals such as Ultron Mark 1, looking at myself for that one. With that being said, is that don't ever get something for anyone but you. I've said that multiple times before, and only get something if you think this is going to benefit my collection. The number one thing I say is that when someone walks in and they see your stuff, they should say, hey, tell me about this figure. You better have a damn good explanation as to why it's in your collection, not as I saw so-and-so on Instagram or on YouTube, so I need to have this, And I've told you the Power Ranger story. I gave into a hype that one time, and there's been plenty of times, with like some of the Arkham Knight figures, I'm like, I like the game, but why do I have these figures? I don't want them. And so I gave in. So I'm guilty as well, but I'm learning from that. So yeah, absolutely. Don't give into hype at all and follow the trend as long as it makes sure that it is your collection and what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. We've all done it. We've all been guilty of that. And sometimes I still think about doing it and then I stop myself. So,
it's easy to get caught back in, they hook you. And then before you know it, you're like, oh shit, I'm on the line again.
Right. Yep.
I just remembered it happened with me with Venom, and I recently sold Venom.
Yeah, it's right. It's right, brother cousins. Yeah, absolutely, bro. That's why, like, sometimes I, if I try to pre-order places where the deposit is either zero or very minimal. So, like, if I need to cancel for whatever reason, I can. But now that's one reason not pre-order because we as collectors can change our minds sometimes pretty easily. So, it's one of those things. But yeah, excellent thoughts, you guys. Seriously, that's always you guys always have some amazing thoughts on that kind of stuff. Seriously, incredible. You guys are awesome. I want to ask you guys another question here, though, because you guys know I love statues. Kiko loves statues. Mike loves statues. Lael's starting to love statues pretty good. And brother cousin, I just got to get him a little bit on the train, but he's going to get there. But I have a question for you guys, because most of the people that are watching tonight are probably mostly 1/6 collectors. So I'm wondering like what statue companies have to do to sell a statue to a 1/6 collector, because a lot of them I think most 1/6 collectors are like Lael. They really enjoy posing. The same with you, Kiko. I know all you guys really enjoy posing. That's a big part of why you collect the figures, because you can engage with the art, right? Statues, you can do that kind of. You can use switch outs. You can put it in different places, different lighting, whatever, but you don't get quite that engagement, right? You just have that beautiful piece on display. So what do you think statue collectors, how would you describe, for those of you that do have a statue, how would you describe that to a 1/6 collector to kind of sell them on a statue they're looking at? And I want to start actually with Mike, because Mike, you probably have even more statues than I do at this point. So how do you think you would sell a statue to a 1/6 collector? Like, what would you have to say to them to get them to buy in, you think?
That's a great question. If you are a 1/6 collector only and you're on the fence, maybe you've been eyeing a quarter scale or even a third scale. Maybe the money's okay and you're willing to spend it, but you're unsure if you're going to enjoy it. I would say choose something that talks to you. And then if you want something to have amazing presence in your collection, jump on it. Here's the difference between 1/6 and 1/4, at least when I made that jump. The first thing you realize is when UPS or FedEx drops the box off in your front door, your wife or significant other, whoever's gonna be like, what the hell is that? If they've never seen a statue box before, because it's huge. And you open it up, and just the feeling of opening up a statue is much different than a 1/6 as well. Everything is very compartmentalized. Everything is kind of airtight. And hopefully it's not a huge one and you've been hitting the gym, because everything's really heavy too.
It is.
It's super. And if you get into the 2-3 box statues, but you'll work your way there. So my first quarter scale, believe it or not, was the Sideshow Stormtrooper with the Han Solo exclusive head switch out or sculpt switch out. And I just put that thing on my desk, and then it was totally game over. I still was collecting 1/6, and I still collect 1/6, but I think that's the thing that most people need to kind of get beyond, is that you can be more than the 1/6 scale man. You can be, a 1/6 scale collector, but have a quarter scale or have a third scale or hell, have a 1-to-1 bust if you want. Like, if you really love the Mandalorian and you want an amazing representation of him in life size, the 1-to-1 Sideshow bust is incredible. At least pictures I saw from Celebration. I'm sure you guys probably saw the actual one on display. But I would say don't be afraid to take the leap. And yeah, there's not much you can do with it. You might get some arm switch outs, maybe a sculpt switch out. And once it's set, it's set. But for people who love posing, you may actually feel a bit of relief because you don't need to put a lot of brain power into it. And once you're done, you're done. And you could just admire it. You can love it. I will caution anyone, though, if you're thinking about going into the 1/4 of the statue lines, be prepared to buy more, because you're going to buy one, and I guarantee it will not be the last one, especially if you have a little bit extra disposable income, or if you have some extra hot toys you want to sell that maybe you've been sitting on and haven't done much with. Just my advice is go for it and take a leap of faith. And look, if you don't like it, or if it's too big for your display, chances are you can sell it, get some money back at break even, or just talk to me and I'll probably buy it. So just go for it, try it.
There's always an out, and it's Mike. So if you're not confident in your purchase, just sell it to Mike and you're good. So yeah, Mike, appreciate it, man. Great thoughts as always. Leo, I want to jump to you, bro, on this one. I know you have some statues. You're collecting some statues now at this point. So what do you think, bro? What kind of got you into statues, at least for the ones you have bought? Like what sold you on them? Hold on.
So for me, again, it has to be something that speaks to me. You know what I mean? Something that, I love, like something that I see. Because again, I love posing 1/6 scale figures. That's basically where I'm at. That's my wheelhouse. That's why I collect 1/6 scale figures. that's always going to be my first love when it comes to collecting is 1/6 scale. But when it comes to certain statues, like again, that piece right there, that spoke to me because, like I said, I'm a Wonder Woman fan. This is an amazing piece. It has a swap out head sculpt, to whereas you can go just more comic accurate, or you can actually have the Gal Gadot. So this is amazing. Again, it has to be something. You don't have to be someone who just collects every statue you see. It has to be something that you gravitate to. That was one of the reasons why I got the Asajj Ventress. One of the reasons why I got them all. One of the reasons why I got, the premium format Batman, and the premium format Batgirl and the Boy Wonder, because I like aesthetically how those statues look. They look really, really good, and they have presence with them. I was going to get that premium format Mandalorian. Yeah, this one here is my number one statue in my collection, and it will be. Even with the other ones that I get, this will be number one, because it's an amazing piece to have. If you have it, it just speaks for itself. I mean, the Cherrick brothers killed it. They nailed this piece. I love it. Again, I was going to get that premium format Mando, but once I actually saw the finished product, I was like, no. So what I did was I got that quarter scale Mandalorian from Hot Toys to take its place, so I can do what I want, kind of capture the vision that I actually have with it. But aside from that, like I said, if there is a pose, and here's the thing, certain statues that you see will have a pose that's impeccable, that you want to keep it directly in that pose. You don't need to repose. That's the pose that you've probably envisioned anyway. You see it and it's like, you know what, hands down, I don't need to pose anything else about that piece. It's a beautiful piece. And it just, like I said, certain things connect. Like I'm waiting, I guess, between this month and next month, I'll have that premium format Storm figure, from X-Men. So that one's actually going to be coming soon. That's a beautiful piece. Like, I mean, literally. And on top of that, they add a special touch to it when they added the light up base. So that looks incredible now. And it's a beautiful piece. So, I mean, again, that's hands down, it was something I hate that I kind of missed out on that. I mean, because I love that X-23, but it was the head sculpt that I was like, I don't know. It just didn't look right for me. So I'm hoping we get another one, maybe a redo, something different. But yeah, this Storm figure, I mean, this Storm statue, it was a no-brainer. I had to get it. Toya saw it. She's like, yeah, you better get that. I was like, yeah, you already know that. It was something I needed to have.
There's the base.
But yeah, this is another one. And then that, of course, that Rosario Dawson's, and also they have a premium format Nightcrawler that's coming
really?
too. That John looks incredible, bro. Like that Nightcrawler, if you find it,
nice.
Oh boy, that piece, there it is, right there.
That is really cool.
That
bro.
is wonderful.
That with the Sentinel, yeah, bro. It's
Look at the colors on that.
Yeah, that pops.
It so pops, bro. And this I will have as well. So again, that pose is impact. That's Nightcrawler. And then it actually, you can get the deluxe version with the swap out arms, what has his swords, his blades.
Oh my goodness.
Bro, it's incredible. So that's what I'm saying. It has to be pieces that speak to you only. They have to be that. When I went to Celebration and I saw that Ahsoka statue, bro, literally I stood there and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Like I literally could not take if I would have gotten I would have, even if I could have stole that joint for real, I would have done it. Like literally. But no, I mean, I just couldn't take my eyes off it, bro. It was something that just, again, it was crazy because I looked at it, and in the same day, Rosario Dawson made an appearance at the live stage at Celebration, and we were right there. Me and Riley were right there up front, and I was like, yo, yeah, they got her. They nailed her. Like they literally did, bro. And I just went back literally, and I'm gonna tell you how bad I am. I just went back and found that premium format Jen Erso and had to get that.
Oh, did you?
Wow.
Yeah.
It must be out of stock. It's probably sold out.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is sold out. But I found it. I found it through my statue collector. I mean, my comic book collector, bro. So yeah, it's something, bro. That piece, yeah, there it is, right there, bro.
I remember that.
Head sculpt.
Yeah, right there, bro. I couldn't, even though there were certain things about the statue that they got wrong. But still I didn't care. You know, I had to get it. But yeah, I mean, again, it has to be pieces that really, really, really speak to you. Something that, you know, you can look at and say, yeah, I love it for what it is, not because somebody else tells you. And that's the thing that I don't like, is when people tell you, oh, dude, you got to get it. You have to get it. No, I don't, because it doesn't speak to me. It's just like when somebody else, like it would be a disservice for me, bro, if somebody else is on the fence about something and I'm telling you, no, you should get it. If you're on the fence and if you're not really sure, that means that you really don't know if you should have it or not. And maybe you don't have a connection to it. Right. So I don't think it's right for people to say, yo, no, you should get it because it's the very last one. You'll never see it again. Let that person decide. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why, that's for me, I only get statues and pieces that speak to me. Everything else, it doesn't really matter at all. So if it's not a one-to-one statue, if it's not General Soul, if it's not a Star Wars statue in general, if it's not even connected to that realm, or if it's not something from Marvel or DC that I can really look at and aesthetically see that, yo, I need that, then chances are, no, I'm not going to do it. So,
okay. Yeah. Well, excellent thoughts, guys. I really want to be, express some happiness and excitement for Mario here. Locked in my Grail statue today. 1/4 Vader Iron Studios is finally coming up. Dude, applause for you, Mario. Happy for you, bro. Mike has that right behind him, actually. So he's been flexing on us for a while. Favorite. I know you know, Leo. Mario's been looking for that statue for since I've known him.
Yeah, for a minute.
Yeah, he's been looking at it for a minute, seriously. But excited for you, Leo, for all these purchases, bro. Really exciting. And I want to get to Brother Cousins. Brother Cousins, is there any statues that are going to appeal to you in the near future? Like, what do you think? What is it going to take, bro, to get you on the hype train?
Shit, that damn Nightcrawler that you just put up. Oh my god, that's
Leo's fault,
beautiful.
Bro.
Yeah,
that is gorgeous, and
it
with swords. Oh
look at
my
that,
god,
it's coming out soon,
bro.
Oh yeah,
Nightcrawler is like one of my favorite X-Men. So
yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think I may have to. I don't know where the hell I'm gonna put it, but I mean, why'd you have to show me this?
It's not that bad too. Like 615 for a statue is pretty good.
It's not
That's
bad
not bad at all. Really,
nope.
That's not.
Nope.
With that and the storm, damn.
Next week,
bro, because I know you're a big Star Wars. The Mythos Vader, everyone's been going crazy over. That's 5th scale.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of you guys saw that Star Wars Celebration. Would you get something like this, Brother Cousins, or maybe something similar? Or?
You know, I really like this. It's not for me, but I really do like this. I like it a lot because that's the thing, right? If I get that one, I'm gonna want to get the Palpatine, and then man, it's gonna be hard. It really is. So yeah, man. But definitely that. I think I don't know, man. It's getting hard.
And the only thing I'd say, bro, if it let it speak to you itself. Don't let us talk to you. You look at it a couple times and just let it speak to you. If you see it, then you know you should have it. If it doesn't speak to you, then nah.
Yeah. I'm still gonna hold out, but that. Yeah, I think that Nightcrawler kind of pushed me over the edge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the Nightcrawler. So, Brother Cousins, what would you think though? Like, because I think you're like a lot like Leo and Kiko. You like posing your figures, right?
Exactly.
So is that kind of maybe what's held you back from statues besides the space? Are those the two factors?
Oh, absolutely. One thing I love, that was the thing that was the main attraction for me with Hot Toys, is the fact that you compose it and you have a total number figure. No matter how old a figure is, I can take the oldest figure I have. I don't know, right here, maybe one of the Terminator figures, change pose for him having a gun, or maybe do something with him, being beat up by the T-1000. And I walk in my room and my eye is drawn to that. So that's the biggest draw of figures for me, that you can always change that pose. That's the thing I think is cool, and that will be the one thing that will hold me back on this. As cool as this Nightcrawler is right now, changing out the swapping out the hands for the swords would be great, but over a period of time, that's so cool.
The hand pose is pretty cool.
The pose is already cool with it, but that's the thing. It's like with statues, it just doesn't. I can't change it. That's the only thing. I really can't change it, and I love the fact that I can change any one of these figures and make them look. And it's kind of therapeutic for me as well. Like sometimes I'll spend like especially now when I'm like in between feeding my baby, late at night, I'd be like, I gotta stay up. Well, what's gonna keep me up? Let me do a pose, and I'll work on a pose. And next thing I know, an hour has went by already. I'm like, damn, I thought that was 15 minutes. So those are the things that I love about 1/6 scale and just figures. And then, with the quarter scale figures, like that quarter scale Mando, oh my God, like posing that thing is a workout. It's a real workout for that. So,
but it looks incredible.
But it's amazing. It is amazing.
It is. Definitely is.
Yep.
Well, interesting to see, brother cousin. We'll see if you jump on this Nightcrawler eventually, bro. It's coming out over the next. This is October to December, so Q4 of this year.
I got some time. It may have to be added to the collection.
Exactly, bro.
What's going to happen is what's going to happen, brother cousins, is that if somebody else on this panel gets it and they take pictures of it and it looks incredible, then they'll probably get it. I'm not going to say any names.
It's true, bro.
I'm just saying.
It may happen.
It could happen. I'm not going to say any names.
But before I get to Kiko himself, I want to address Bob Dylan's super chat. Bob Dylan, thanks so much, bro. Appreciate it, man. He said 1/6 is great, but there are limits to downscaling. For the centerpiece, showstoppers, and jaw droppers, you got to ride that polystone pony to poverty. Yeah. Very well written, Bob Dylan, but absolutely, bro. That's pretty much how it goes. You're riding that poverty train when you start getting into these statues, especially if you're getting a lot of them. But Kiko, bro, I know you got some statues. You got the Venom statue, like you mentioned. So what other, factors you think are going to sell statues to 1/6 collectors? Like, what do you look at? I know space is big for you.
Yeah. So I saw someone actually mention it in the chat, and it's actually the exact reason I kind of got into statue collecting in general is the 1/6 scale sideshow Jabba, because it's essentially it's essentially a statue. You can swap out you can
I've been trying to get Kiko to get this. That's why I pulled it out.
And it's coming home.
He's been pushing this. He's been pushing this Revan for a long time.
Yeah, I have been pushing it on Kiko for a while.
So we'll see. But yeah, the Jabba is the one that got me going, because I said, okay, here is a big figure that's not really posable. You can swap out some of the arms and the eyes, so it gives you a statue feel, but it's a 1/6 scale figure is what it's called technically. And so I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. And so when I pulled that in and put it into my collection room, I said, okay, I'm having to think through where I'm going to display this. So you start thinking about your space, how to display it, and things along that line. And it wasn't long until I kind of said, okay, I've figured out how to, find room for here, and so what's next? And then my first actual statue was the Mythos Maul, and I was like, okay, here is what I think is so unique about them. And yeah, we love the idea of being able to pose, but I think everyone's already, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but everyone that gets into a statue game, you will get the most amplified, most visually stunning version of their pose that you can possibly find. You will not be able to pose it any better, and that's specifically for that. And the thing I love is that they usually come with some incredible type of display base, some type of environmental base that they're placed on, and so that just draws you in again to make it even better. And one thing I think that we hinted at in wrapping this little topic up is that no one's going to, I know you said, how do you sell it to a statue to a 1/6 collector? But at the end of the day, no one's doing a review on a statue saying, hey, pick this up here. This is going to be fantastic. Make sure to use no one's doing that. I mean, it stops you from impulse buying because of the price. For one, you're not just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to drop $1,000, no worries. Most people aren't going to do that. And so it makes you really think and prioritize, is this a piece I want to have? Do I have room for this? So you do the critical thinking, which is important, and you're not making an impulse thing. And so if you get a statue in, most likely you've thought through it, you've made the decision of where you're going to put it, and now that you have it, you don't want to get rid of it because you checked all those boxes, which I think is important as well. And the last thing I will say is that, with these in here, is that it's the one that everyone always is drawn to. They come and check your stuff. Oh, sweet statue. Everyone always talks about that. When I was at Celebration, everyone talks about the statues. My good buddy Dave, I do the other podcast with, he says that his spider legs, Darth Maul, that's that sideshow exclusive from, I think, a couple celebrations ago. He said everyone always talks about that statue. And they're show stealers. That's what it is. And so it's not for everybody by any means. I mean, they are, I think the Polystone pony, just like we talked about, they are fragile to a degree. So you need to be careful of them. It's not something that you can just, bang around and such. I mean, but they're pieces of art. You don't go bang around the Mona Lisa either. So some people put cake on it, but apparently that's a thing nowadays. But yeah, if you're considering it, maybe start off with a 1/6 scale big thing, see how you feel, and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Absolutely, man. And it's an exciting time because we all got options, right? And that's the great part of it. Yes. We all got options. We got, a lot of great choices in collecting. It's the golden age of collecting, as we say. But Superior Displays, I got to address Super Chat. Thanks so much, bro. Shipping money cancels out those for the outside of the US and in Hong Kong. Yeah. So statue prices can be pricey when you're getting into shipping. So they really can, because the one I shared earlier, the Jin Sakai, I'm actually getting that soon. Prime One emailed me and said they're about to ship it. So very excited for this one. But this is a good example for what Superior Displays is talking about, because I originally paid for this and the shipping was like maybe $125, and now I had to pay $375. So like Prime One upped the shipping because of surcharges and COVID and whatever. So when I bought this, they gave me a shipping quote, then they changed it. So unfortunate, but I paid it and it's still going to be shipping soon. So, that's the kind of stuff you do have to deal with this statue. And also, if you want to sell it, it's harder because you have to box it back up. You have to ship it. It's more expensive to ship. It's not fun to sell a statue. So I always say, if you're going to get a statue, be pretty confident in your purchase, because it's almost like marrying the piece. Because it really is. Like the bigger it is, the more you're marrying it. So,
I mean, just like what you were saying, some of those double or triple box statues or whatever, my Venom, my PCS, I keep talking about that one, but that was a double box one that essentially 2 refrigerator boxes. I was carting up my stairs, and I mean, you're not boxing that bad boy back up and, loading up. Hey, can you do express shipping on that? Priority mail? Probably not. Yeah. So it's crazy to think about. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So, guys, I got one more topic for the evening and then we'll wrap it up. But I want to ask you guys about, there's one thing in particular here. Well, there's 2 questions I have, and I'm kind of deciding which one I want to go with. We're going to go with 2-packs, because 2-packs for outdoors. Let's jump back to 1/6 because that's our core here. 2-packs are something that are talked about a lot. There's always kind of the notion thrown around that 2-packs go up in price almost always.
They haven't found out who killed him yet. Stop saying his name.
Who?
2-pack Shakur.
Oh,
go ahead.
That went way over my head, bro. But guys, like 2-packs, I want to talk about just because that's so funny. 2-packs I want to talk about just because there's one out now that I think just came in stock like a day or 2 ago. Like the single pack was in stock a while ago, but now this is in pack, right? Yes. And I know Leia. I'll start with you on this one. People have been going crazy over this 2-pack. I know you have it, but it's funny. You know what I've noticed, Leia? And this includes me, because I had this on pre-order. This is not a Book of Boba figure, but I think it's suffering a little bit because of Book of Boba, because people were really, really hyped for this when Mando came out and Boba was so badass in it. But then Book of Boba came out and it wasn't as good as a lot of people were hoping for. At least it was polarizing at minimum. And it's kind of killed a little bit of the momentum of it. And I had it on pre-order at one point and canceled it. But I'm thinking about getting the solo version at some point. But Lael, do you like that they're doing these 2-packs? I mean, we have Nightmare Batman and Superman. We have the Boba Fett. We have, Leia and Wicket. We have the Jawa and Gonk droid. You go way back, Tarkin and Vader. Like, hopefully, I mean, would you be open, Layout, for example, like maybe a Toby and Andrew 2-pack, something like that? Would you like to see more of that type of stuff?
We were talking about this last week, and I said that, if they were to actually jump into 2-pack, Star Wars would jump back in a 2-pack game. I want to see, for right now, I want to see Obi-Wan and a Leia. 2-pack, because I really love the connection between both of them. I love the connection between both of those characters, and I already have a vision in my head of how I would want to pose them, and I would love to basically have it. But I think this is good only when it suits it, not when it doesn't make sense. The reason why I say this suits is because you have both figures, same IP. You have 2 versions of the same figure, one without same character, one without the armor, with the Nomad version, which I love that Nomad version. I actually, because of that Nomad version, I went and got 2 Tusken Raiders, and I have like an outside photo exhibition, that posing exhibition I'm doing on that one. So that's going to be incredible. But you get the armor version. I think that if I compare these 2 to the Boba Fett on the throne, this is the better one. These two, hands down, I don't care what nobody says, this is better because it's the better rendition that we actually got of Boba Fett. We saw him in rare form. Even Tamora Morrison said that he wants to get back to the badassery.
I saw that.
He wants. He said he feels as though Boba Fett needs to get back to that, and he hates that they didn't do it. But yeah, this is the better of the two. I think that this suit, it makes sense. Now, even though I have it, I paid it off, and when it's released, it's coming, the Nightmare Batman and the Superman, that didn't make sense to me because there were a lot of people basically who wanted just that black suit Superman. They didn't want, they already even have the Nightmare Batman, but you can't get it in a single pack. That didn't make sense to me. Like that to me was like, yo, that's kind of robbery. You know what I mean? In a sense, because people just want that version. So now they're going to have two Nightmare Batmans. They'll probably sell one off to kind of make their money back. You know what I mean? And that's the thing but here's the thing, it suits for me because I didn't have either figure. I mean, I have the regular Justice League version, but I don't have the Nightmare Batman and the black suit I definitely want. So it'd be good to have them both. But I only think that it works when it makes sense. It has to definitely make sense. You know what I mean? To be quite honest, don't do it if it doesn't make sense. If they released a 2-pack Vader and say for instance they did a Vader and a Reva, that would make sense because they're working together. You know what I mean? And you can see something like if they did a 2-pack with Reva and the Fifth Brother, that would make sense because basically you've seen if they did a 3-pack, that would make sense. No, we're not going to see that, but I'm just saying that they did it, it would make sense. But to do something like this, to me, for those who already have this Nightmare Batman, it didn't make sense to me. That's the only thing. But I'm not going to say it ain't dope because it's dope as shit. And I have it. I paid it off. I don't have it, but I paid it off and I can't wait till they release it, because it'll be in my collection. But that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, like this right here, just think of how many people, how much they would have actually made if they got just the regular version, separate version of the black suit Superman. They would have made twice as much. You know what I mean? Because that's what people would have went for. With this, it's like now they're like, really deciding whether or not they need it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it'll be interesting to see, bro. Seriously, man. And like these 2-packs, it's always an interesting proposition, I feel like. And it's a lot of money to drop. So you're getting 2 figures, so it's usually a good deal. But something interesting to discuss. So I want to go back to you, Kiko, on this one. How do you feel about 2-packs? You want to see more of them? I think it was John, Mr. Off the Racks himself, dropping the idea of why not 2-pack troopers and droids. Yeah, it's a good idea. Sideshow had done that. So what do you think, Kiko, about that?
Yeah.
I mean, Lael said it right. It's got to make sense. That's the one that I worry about because it's crazy to see like how many people shit on the Jawa and Gonk droid, and now that's like one of the harder to get figures out there. Because let's be honest, the Gonk was pretty lame for what they were charging or whatever. But now you got this premium Jawa piece essentially that people can't even buy anymore. But the Gonk droid was really underwhelming. And I know that there's cost cutting out there and different things like that, and so that's why some people don't like the clamshell bases and stuff. I remember originally, not trying to get off too much of a topic, but when Snowspeeder Luke was announced, they got pissed about that environmental base because they thought it was going to be just like the Jawa thing, and it's not. It's actually a sturdier like snow piece or whatever, which is actually kind of nice. But as long as they do it right, I think it is only going to benefit collectors because people, 2 for 1 type of thing. And it also makes sense from a business standpoint because if they are wanting to sell it, kind of like what they just did with the Superman thing, they knew that, hey, if we want to move these pieces out of here, we got to package both of them. And so they're like, well, we know they're going to buy them because there we go. And so they are guaranteeing a sell that way. If they have a contract, I'm just throwing something out there. If they have a contract for one figure and they're like, I don't know if this one's going to sell as well, then you package it with a figure they know will sell. And then everyone will be like, okay, I'm buying it for that. And then, if you sell the one you don't want, on eBay or something, hot toys don't care about that as long as you bought it from them. So it doesn't make any difference to them. So do I want to see one? Yeah, absolutely. Just because who doesn't like getting 2 figures in the mail instead of 1? So as long as it makes sense. But I don't want, I think everyone talks about that. Don't do the reissue thing. I've talked about that. I felt like the Nightmare Batman was a little bit of a cop-out, just because that was a Toy Fair exclusive. And I understand rightfully so for people to be a little bit bent about that because you bought it under the assumption that it was an exclusive. So I know a lot of people are craving that they re-release Darkseid Anakin, but if he's in a 2-pack, and they do something like that, I can see everyone melting down again because they're like, well, that wasn't exclusive, it's not fair, you missed your chance, that type of stuff. And I'll probably be the person leading that parade, just because I love because I love to be that exclusive type of thing. But yeah, man, bring on the 2-packs. Let's do it.
Yeah, cool. Well, great thoughts as always. Brother Cousins, what do you think, bro, about 2-packs? Is this something you're really interested in?
I love 2-packs. That's my thing. And I mean, and just harping back on something Akiko said, I think it's a good opportunity to bring in a figure that probably wouldn't be as desirable solo. For instance, like let's say, and I think this would be a wonderful 2-pack. Let's say if they did something, thinking outside of the box, something like Terminator. Let's say if you had a Sarah Connor figure and then you had a John Connor from Terminator 2, that would be an excellent example of a 2-pack. Not sure if they would do it. Terminator is not, what it used to be years ago. But that would be a great 2-pack because I mean, a lot of people wouldn't want to buy like a little just, John Connor figure by itself. Perfect 2-pack right here. Perfect. The epitome. Grail.
Yeah, this is about as good of a 2-pack as it gets. Yeah.
Yes, this is just the 2-pack here. And I mean, and even though I'm so glad that we were able to get C3PO and R2D2 the way that we're getting it, but I still would have loved to see it as a 2-pack because I mean the idea of getting R2D2 as a figure is great and they give you a lot of swap outs and stuff with it, but it's just so much more appealing to see a C3PO and an R2D2, like characters that belong together should be in 2-packs. Like Bill and Ted, I think initially with Blitzway they were going to release them individually. They decided to lump them together in a 2-pack. Makes perfect sense. I just think that's the way to sell certain characters. But this right here, bring them on. More 2-packs. I think they should do it. I think it's a good way. And it's a good way to get people started off in collecting. Like the good example, the Nightmare Batman. I don't have that many DC figures, but that gets me going right there. Getting those 2. Yeah, I probably have to backpedal a little bit to get them, but at least I'm starting off with 2 damn good releases right there. And I mean, I just think it's a good way to get people, especially people that are newer into collecting or newer into a certain property, a way for them to buy in quicker and get them to buy more figures.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It's a really good, it could be a gateway into other purchases for sure. Mike, how do you feel about 2-packs, bro? What do you think?
I mean, I love 2-packs, just like everyone else has been saying. But, the thing about 2-packs that, the downside is maybe the cost, especially now when single Hot Toys are becoming, $285 plus?
Yeah.
Sometimes 300s for deluxe. But, I think that what John was saying, 2-packs of troopers, 2-packs of battle droids, are things that people like to army build. For example, the classic clone troopers that just were released. That would have been amazing to have some kind of a 2-pack. And you get maybe 4 helmets or whatever with it. I just worry that I'm trying to think from like Hot Toys perspective. Maybe they are worried about rising costs, and maybe they're afraid that people won't purchase them as quickly. Whereas maybe if they did individuals and you could pop them out at $285, $265 a piece, people are more inclined to maybe say, hey, I want to buy 2 of these as to put maybe a 2-pack that's $550, $575, even though they might save a little bit money. Maybe it's just kind of that psychological looking at the cost of it potentially. But then again, I agree with Brother Cousins and everybody else. If you're just getting into collecting, 2-packs are amazing. I know for a while they were packing Grogu's with everything, and they probably still are. I don't think that's a true 2-pack, even though the accessory. Yeah, exactly. It's a 6-scale accessory, even though they call the Ahsoka the deluxe, which I'm looking forward to that one. But I was just thinking, especially thinking about the Jazz Inc. Snowspeeder, it would be really cool. And again, sorry, Lale, the DX07 is God, that is a never sell hot toy. And again, and I bought the new one. I pre-ordered the new Bespin one because it looks great. I love the updated technology and sculpts and all that. But it would be cool for some figures that have multiple bodies or clothing to, hey, give me the same figure, give me 2 of them, and then give me some options with clothing or hair sculpts, helmet sculpts, because it would be really neat. I'm probably going to have to pick up a second Snowspeeder Luke and then do some kind of a custom DAC or just like a whatever with a DAC helmet to put in the Jazz Inc. Snowspeeder.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was that you say that because I have this Snowspeeder Luke and I also have Sideshow's Snowspeeder Luke. So I'm going to use that one.
Smart man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, it's something that Hot Toys used to do back in the day, because it's funny, like we're talking about DX07. We have the battle damage version, we have the clean version of him, but also they have the, I mean, they did this, but I think a precursor to that was the Michael Jackson Thriller 2-pack, which was a phenomenal 2-pack when you had the zombie version and you had the regular Michael, and that was just they need to go back to stuff like that. I just
people even slept on the Leia and Wicked pack, and that one was incredible. Like that's an incredible piece to have, man. And like if you slept on that and then go back to try to get it now, oh hell no. Oh hell no.
If you are going to do a 2-pack though, talking about the Michael Jackson and talking about the DX01, I think is which one it is. Are you happy if they give you outfits? Because you'd have to get a second body, for them. Are you happy with just the outfits, or do you want a full body with it?
That's a good point. Yeah,
I usually want a full body personally.
I'm too lazy to try to
save me the trouble of trying to kit bash.
Because with that Michael, I remember I run into that problem. I had to go out and get another body, and then I had a body in the mail, and then the feet didn't match with mine. It was, and I had to have him on the
same. I'm the same way as that. Yeah, mine. My zombie one's a little janky, but he works. He's also kind of like thicker than the other body, but it's okay.
Exactly.
Like one set they maybe should have done that with was the Hawkeye Ronin set. Maybe like they gave you two different outfits or kind of, but like maybe a separate body would have been good. But maybe Hawkeye just isn't a popular enough of a character to do that. Maybe they're worried about it selling. Fair. So I don't know, but I don't know. It's interesting to think about. So yeah, bro, it's dude, 2-packs though for sure, man. It's it's going to keep happening. And like I said, maybe I'm a little surprised. I think it was you, Brother Cousins, was mentioning the C-3PO and R2-D2, the Attack of the Clones one. I think it's good. One thing I think that would be kind of cool with 2-packs is like give us the 2-pack, but also give it the option to buy individually. So, you can have the option if you want to buy maybe you have an R2-D2 already and you just want the C-3PO. You can buy him individually, or maybe if you want to buy them both and you don't have either of them, you can buy them both as a 2-pack. That would be cool too. So, anytime we have options, it's good, right? That's what I think. Kind of like with Boba Fett, what they did. They gave you the single Boba Fett, or they gave you the 2-pack if you want to get both. So I think it's pretty cool. But guys, we're going to wrap it there. Let's go around and address each amazing panel member, see what they have going on with their channel. Mike, Mr. Collectors Enabled, bro. What's coming up on your channel?
Yeah, man. So, it's been a kind of a slow week. We've been having some guests join us, and I know, Will, we've been talking. I know Tuesday's not a good night for you, so we're gonna have to work something out. Maybe work something out. Yeah, we'll do a different night for you. But yeah, man, we're just kind of chugging along and having fun, and we do have a couple of really great guest people coming up pretty soon over the next couple of weeks. I know that Brother Cousins, I definitely would like you to have come on at some point. I know you're busy, but let me know your schedule. And then Leon is due to come back because it's been a while, and then Kiko definitely come in. He's a fellow Tennessee.
Kiko, bro, you just got to clear out. I mean, how much money you got?
Yeah, right. Sell some more of those figures, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta sell some figures, bro. I mean, I got the last receipt, bro. It's hefty, bro. It's hefty.
Dude, you're lucky I didn't show up on your live stream at the celebration. That could have cost you an extra.
Yeah, man. It's
for your likeness.
It's true. It's crazy, but I feel like it's pretty safe for everybody else. I feel like I'm the only one that's kind of buying things on the spot. Matter of fact, I just bought something while you guys were talking.
Did you really? Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
See, I don't know, Mike. I mean, because I'm that Taskmaster, bro. I'm almost there, Will.
I know. I have seen Kiko's photo was really good, bro.
Kiko kind of sold me on it. I was calling that. I'm not buying that figure.
It's he, and I put him up earlier. Saw him in the chat. It's he and Boston Collectors. Those are the two that screw everybody with their photos because they're so good. Like Kiko and Boston Collector are the two guys.
Kiko they both kill it. Kiko he makes it look like the shit is real. Like I'm actually looking like a movie steal. Like that's what I hate and love at the same time.
Yep. Absolutely. So, Mike, thanks so much for joining, bro. Everyone check out Collectors Enabled on YouTube. I know you have a Facebook group too, Mike. That's a great group. I'm part of that one. Collectors Enabled on Facebook. So check him out. Amazing panel. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Leo, what's coming up on 1/6 scale, man, bro?
Hey, man. Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for having me. Of course, it's been a great day. Tomorrow is comic book talk with friends. We'll be breaking down the Miss Marvel first episode. So definitely talking about that. Also talking about the announcement that they actually made about the Thunderbolts movie, and our predictions with that as well. Amongst other things. Back here on yeah. So on Wednesday we'll have Say What as well. I'm trying to squeeze Mike in there, man, and see how his schedule is. Homie, hopefully he lets me know in the next 2 days if he's free, and we'll get him on there, man. So to be good. I was trying to get Payne on there too. Payne was going to do it, but this is like not the week for him. But he'll be on there the following week, the following Wednesday. So I can't wait to get Payne on there. Of course, you brother cousins will be on there, so to be decent. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll have, hopefully we'll have even if there's no releases or reveals, we're going to still have something to talk about. I mean, because there's a lot to talk about in the community. So definitely, man. Kiko, I have to get him on a day show. You know what I mean? It has to be a show during the day. So normally like Collector's Lounge is in his wheelhouse. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's normally in his wheelhouse. So that'd be cool. But yeah, for that, we'll be on Mario's channel for another Uncivilized Scoundrels for episode 5 of Boba Fett. Please let this, please let this episode be, something that kind of helps to, boost to the spirits, man. And enough talk about the drama. I'm so glad that we have that channel. We can, that show that we can just kind of just talk about those things, and it stays within and contained. And to really be quite honest, there's not a lot of toxic discussions or people out in the chat when we have them. So thank God for that. And then of course Friday is Figure Flex Friday, which we're still continuing with May Mashup Madness, since Celebration kind of took the place of that last month, so we're continuing on with that. And then of course Collector's Lounge next Sunday. I released the Darth Maul posing video for Take Your Position today, so you can check that out. I'm also releasing the Jango Fett here, possibly if I get it done tonight. I'll probably release it and have it ready for tomorrow, amongst other videos that I actually have up and coming. So yeah, man, thanks for having me here, and subscribe to the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel if you haven't.
Yeah, bro, dude, thanks so much for joining, Leo. Always appreciate you joining, coming by, man. Always a lot of fun. You know that. You and I always on each other's shows since the beginning, bro.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, bro, absolutely, man. So, Mr. Kiko, Mr. Kevin, dude, how you doing, man? Hopefully everything was fun for you tonight. Appreciate you joining as always, man. It was always a blast. What's coming up on Kiko Collects, dude?
Why, thank you, Will, thank you for the extra commercials that you guys gave me during this show. To hype the Instagram. As you know, I do have that Instagram handle, Kiko Collects, where we do a lot of the photos and different pictures of the collection. And because apparently Instagram doesn't care about photos anymore, I'm trying to figure out how to do reels so we can try to do some reels things on Instagram. Apparently, the photo sharing platform doesn't like photos anymore. It's got to be moving pictures. Where they've moved into the 2000s now. But yeah, so check me out on Instagram. But the real moving pictures, the Kiko Collects YouTube channel, where we just talk about all kinds of different things, whether that be I need a new tagline. It's not your everyday hot toys channel, if you want to call it that, because we don't do reviews, unboxings, posings like that. We talk philosophy, so it's a lot like this, but a little less it's a little more formal, I guess. But Will, love being here with you, man. I'm sorry that I can't be here as often as I want to, but all my favorite panel members are here tonight, which is fantastic. Appreciate being with each and every single one of you. But yeah, thanks for letting me be on here, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely, bro. You're welcome anytime. All you guys, seriously, dude. It's always a blast, man. It's always a blast. You guys are amazing. You do amazing content, all of you. And brother cousins, dude. What's coming up on the Daddy Cousins channel, bro?
Hey, brother, thank you so much for having me tonight.
Dude,
I know I was supposed to be
joining
last week, but yeah, that was crazy. But I'm here.
That's all.
Thank you so much for being among this wonderful panel tonight. This was awesome. So what we got going on? So I want to say apologize to everybody in the community right now for yesterday. We were supposed to have half show Saturday, just couldn't do it. Body would not get up out of the bed for some reason. So but we are coming back next Saturday. So me, Local Lou, half show Saturday, that's going to be great. But starting off the week on Tuesday, Good Morning Grails. We're as I kind of alluded to earlier, we're going to be showing off Stormtrooper Han Solo, so that's going to be great. Be there at 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. Good Morning Grails. Love that show. Of course, I'm going to be on Say What with Lael. 1/6 scale man, of course. Definitely. And then on Thursday, of course, best of the best. We're going to be, don't know what we're going to be talking about. Hopefully, we'll be talking about Bo-Katan releasing. Hopefully, please, I want that figure to come out. But yeah, that's going to be fun. And as I mentioned earlier, have show Saturdays. And any other news that pops out, if something drops, how it usually works, I'll tell you how it works. I'll see KG. And I'll see the Wonder Twins, KG and Riley online. They'll put something on Instagram.
First word, bro.
We'll run to Facebook, and then either I'll jump on a panel with Mafia or Leo, and then I'll go make a video, and then we put it out. So hopefully that will happen in the next couple of days, maybe in the next couple of hours. Who knows?
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be exciting, brother cousins. Either way, bro. You guys all seriously have some awesome content. So very excited to see what y'all are going to come up with. And hopefully I can be on some panels here shortly. So Leal, I'll be with you Wednesday as always, bro. So hopefully, and brother cousins, we've been trying to catch up on Thursday. So hopefully one of these Thursdays soon I can hop in.
I got you for next Thursday if you're funky with it, man.
I think so this Thursday of this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can do that. We'll talk. I think I can. Okay. I got to think about it, but because I'm not sure if I'm gonna be home or not. But we'll talk. Yeah, I think I can do it tentatively. So we'll say that. But dude, thanks so much to this amazing panel. All you guys seriously are incredible. Thanks so much to everyone in the chat for supporting the channel and the show. Of course, we'll be back next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern as always. Then we have Lights, Camera, Collect every Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Those are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The most recent episode is not uploaded yet, but it will be shortly. So you can listen on your device or whatever, on your computer if you want, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And I think we talked about a lot of cool stuff tonight. Not much release news to talk about, so we filled it with some other topics. So, and like Lael said off camera, that makes some of the best streams because we can talk about stuff we don't normally always get to talk about in detail because we have more time to do it. So all I can say, thanks so much, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one.